Stewart, fascinating to see the conversations yesterday about NATO and about the amount of spending on defence. This has clearly been a hot topic issue during the presidential campaign and continues to be so for President Trump. The US clearly wants others to spend more on defence, and the US seems to be planning, or at least the president plans to spend more on defence. I've got this chart here, which is 8821, which tracks US defence spending as a percentage of GDP. This is all a bit backward-looking, of course, but we know that the president intends to spend more on defence in his budget, but we don't know much more about the budget and his fiscal plans, do we?
No, we don't. I mean, it's obvious in this day and age with the terrorist threat that we have, there has to be more defence spending, military spending in general, and Trump is really just trying to ensure that everyone pays their fair share. So that's understandable, and it gives him a very nice soundbite. But you're right, the fiscal plan that Trump has for the US is still not very clear. We've had some details, but it's still more about aspiration than actual things that he can deliver. And there are many aspects of the budget bill that's been put forward that simply won't get passed in the House. So this is going to be an iterative process, and he's sort of placed his sort of opening statement, if you like, in front of the House. There's lots more to go. There will be a fiscal stimulus. It won't be as large as he is stating he would like, but it will be positive and it will help the US.
Stuart, a very good morning to you from Vienna. When I look at this gathering, there's a lovely story written this morning. In other words, he was comfortable in Riyadh. It was big arms deals. It was jobs, jobs, jobs. Here he is at the G7, and this is multilateralism. This is the antithesis of what Trump wants to deal with. Have a look at ECTR. Who does the US and Europe do business with? You can see Europe's second biggest export market is the United States of America. There's a lot of play here from trade as well, isn't there?
There is, absolutely, and I think one of the things to note here is that there were fears that a Trump presidency was going to be sort of very isolationist, very just looking at the US, and actually he's become, I mean, not exactly a global statesman, but at least he's recognizing that it's not just about the US and the US interests, there are global interests. And trade is a very important part of that. He's been actually much more conciliatory than we might have expected in terms of relations with other countries. And I think that's a good thing, given what we'd worried about before.